Hello, my name is Joe Collins for Joe's A2 Film Productions, and today I will be discussing my question 3 of the evaluation. Now, the question states, what have you learned from your audience feedback? Now, first of all, I showed various people my film trailer and asked them what they thought about my film as a whole. And overall, they had a lot of feedback going forward. Firstly, I asked them what they thought about the camera shots in my trailer. A lot of the people that watched my film thought that my camera shots were quite good. However, I could have used probably some more adventurous camera shots as a whole. I used a lot of basic shots such as close-ups, long shots, medium shots, tracking shots. However, I did use a slider shot as well, which is a more varied shot. However, my audience did think that most of the camera shots were very good. Apart from they thought that some of them maybe went on a little bit too long, so I cut them a little bit shorter so that I could sort of listen to the feedback that my audience gave me. But overall, I don't really think they had many problems with the camera shots as a whole. Next, I asked the audience what they thought about the sound in my film. I asked them what they thought of the music in my film trailer, and most of them thought that the music that I used was quite fitting for the film as a whole, as the film trailer was quite sort of slow paced, so in a way the music sort of suited it, as it sort of builded tension towards maybe what could come up in the final film, and it would sort of build anticipation for what audiences could see in the final film. So I think audiences quite liked the sort of building up tension music, as this sort of really helped in building anticipation for the film as a whole. However, as a whole, I think audiences thought my music was very good. And they did say, however, that they wanted a little bit more dialogue, but I felt this sort of suited the film really, as I didn't really want to give away too much about the film as a whole, so I think audiences sort of understood that there wasn't really a lot of dialogue in the end, I saw. And as a whole, I think it was better, because it didn't really give away much about the plot of the film, because obviously you can see a lot of trailers with dialogue that maybe give away a little bit too much, and it sort of spoils the final film when it comes out. Next, I asked audiences what they thought about the editing in my film. Again, similar with the music, they said that the editing sort of suited the whole theme of the film, as it was sort of a lot of slow-paced, sort of fading in and out editing, and then you've also got a couple of quick cuts in there as well. When he's sort of clenching his fists, you can see that there's sort of a few quick cuts in there. And there's sort of, matches with the whole sort of pace of the film overall, so you can sort of see that with the fading in and out, it sort of suits the whole film altogether. As you can see, the music is quite dark as well, and sort of slow-paced, as, like I said, it just all sort of comes together and sort of suits the whole general theme of the film and makes it a lot more effective as a result. But overall, audiences gave me feedback, and they said that they liked the editing because it did suit the film, and that they wouldn't really have changed anything about the editing, as it sort of suited the film, and it really sort of got the best out of it in a way. Finally, I asked audiences what they thought about the mise-en-scène in the film. My audiences gave me feedback about my mise-en-scène, and the main aspects that they pointed out were obviously the costume of the main character, and the prop that I used was the gun. What they said about the costume of the character was that it sort of fitted the character as a whole, as in action thriller films you don't really see a lot of people with a particular sort of outfit that they wear. They can sort of wear anything from a suit to sort of rugged clothes, which is what I wanted my character to wear really, was sort of rugged clothes which fitted in with the character as a whole and sort of fitted in with the film as a whole. So I thought the costume was, it fitted with the film as a whole, and audiences thought that as well. As when I asked the audiences what they thought, they said that the rugged theme of the clothes that the character was wearing really suited with the whole film, and it suited the character really, as I think if the audiences said if they thought that if he wore a suit, then it wouldn't have really stood out that much, as it didn't really look like a place where you'd wear a suit, as you sort of see people wearing suits in action thriller films when they're in sort of big cities, whilst mine wasn't really set in a big city. It was just set sort of in a out of area location, and the clothes that the character was wearing sort of fit in with the surroundings around him, and he didn't really make him stick out like a sore thumb or anything. Also, audiences thought the gun was quite a good aspect, and they said that it really fit in with the genre as a whole. As you see in action thriller films, that there's a lot of guns and weaponry and violence used in action thrillers, and audiences thought that the gun used really sort of emphasised the action thriller genre as a whole, and it really suited the genre of the film that I was doing, and audiences said that it really fit in with the film and the genre as a whole. And the gun is obviously a very big sort of, iconic thing in an action thriller film, as there's a lot of violence, like I said. And audiences said the gun was a very good aspect, and it sort of really enhanced the film. As they said, when they saw the gun, you could sort of, feel what the character was thinking, and feel intimidated by the character as a whole. Overall, audiences thought that my film was quite good. However, there were some aspects that I could change. Most primarily, probably the camera shots and maybe some of the editing in the film. They said that maybe with the camera shots that I could have maybe made some of the shots a little bit shorter, and with the editing that there maybe could have been, more variation in the editing, and maybe use something else in the editing and maybe enhance the film further with some more different editing, more complicated editing, and more different aspects that I could have used to make the film better.